This is a big picture question. All of the issues that have come up today, when you come to legislature, come down to funding. You know, everything goes to the fiscal review committee, and quite often, regardless of how much a legislator champions an issue, if it hits a wall at the fiscal review committee, budgetarily,
It's finance.
it's finance committee. It's a finance issue. It's a budget issue, right? And I understand the need to save for the next economic downturn, but there are millions of Tennesseans, myself and my family and friends and coworkers among them, that have not gotten out of this economic downturn. So, and we're sitting on $1 billion surplus. So I guess my question to the senators is, we need that $1 billion surplus of our tax money to get reinvested into our resources, whether they're public state parks, you know, EPA, water quality education, whether it's K through 12 or higher education, maintaining our facilities. You know, these are public properties, right? So they're our properties, and we need to maintain them. And it's not an issue of the workers not doing the work. It's an issue of, you know, if you got $500 of repairs and the state only gives us $100, $400 of repairs aren't going to get done. You know, so are the senators prepared to use and reinvest our tax money back into our resources?
Well, obviously the governor sets the budget. There's not a lot, there's only a small portion of what the legislature really, our discretionary funding that we would have control over. But in conversations with the governor and encouraging the governor, I believe we will see a substantial portion of the non-recurring, the one-time money be invested in improvements like you're talking, and I will absolutely support that.
Right. I'm glad to hear that. That's very good to hear. The one-time money only helps one time. There are recurring costs, maintenance costs, supporting these programs that has to happen year after year.
Right.
And if you put 1 year money into it, then you have the same problem year after year. We need funding in recurring programs.
Right.
I think there will be an effort by the governor to establish a maintenance fund that it is paid for with recurring money. And I think that's one of the things he's looking at in the budget. And it's really, when you look at the recurring money in the budget, it's not $1 billion. It's somewhere around, but it's close. It's 875 million. But we're counting 375 million in taxes that will be collected or have been collected in July all the way through next June. So a lot of that is still estimates out there based on a 3.75 revenue increase. Right now, we're about 5.2% in increasing collections. So we're ahead of the estimates. But like Matt Murray told us once, you know, when you go to these revenue projections or budget projections, it's like driving a car using only the rear view mirror. You get a good view of where you've been, but you can't see the turns back and forth. So as the governor presents his budget in January, then the legislature takes it up and we'll be going through committees, and eventually it'll end up in finance on the Senate side. But for example, like on health, Becky and Rick will hear the budget for the health department and other departments. And on environment, you'll hear tourism and parks and things like that. They make recommendations to finance and then we pass it. So there's still some adjustments, either up or down, that we can make depending on where the economy is. But we won't have a final picture on revenue collections action for this year, actually, until next September, mid-next September.
I'm just glad that Tennessee is in the shape that we have to deal with that kind of problem. You know, I mean, a lot of states are in deficits. So let's all try to work together. I know everybody has different, you know, issues that are more closer at heart to them. And they're all good, and it's just a matter of seeing where is the best use of our state dollars and what's gonna get us the best return on our investment. But it is an absolute wonderful problem to have to deal with.